essentially all the data underlying privately securitized mortgages. So private label mortgage-backed securities, again, markets pretty much collapsed since 08, 09, but that was kind of the big boom bust that had happened was due to private label MBS, as opposed to mortgage-backed securities created by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. I can
Can
go
you
into, yeah, what a,
but before that, can you just for people who may not know what privately backed
sure, sure.
private label mortgage backed securities actually refers to?
Yeah, okay. So let's start with the basics, right? What's a mortgage-backed security? So let's say tomorrow you go to Bank of America and take out a loan, right? Bank of America is not going to hold this loan on its balance sheet as an asset, right? You are the debtor, the bank is the creditor, the loan is an asset to them, but they want to convert this to cash. So they're going to sell it off to someone in a secondary market, and then Bank of America is not going to own that loan anymore. Where does that loan typically end up? Well, it ends up in what we call sort of a securitization trust. So think of this as sort of a special purpose entity that its sole job is to own these mortgages, and then it basically issues bonds to finance the ownership of these loans. And then, when you, Abdullah, make your mortgage payment every month, it's not going to Bank of America, it's going to the securitization trust, which then distributes it to the bondholder. So this is kind of the way in which mortgage has been financed in the US for the longest time. Now, there are typically there are sort of two giant entities today who issue mortgage-backed securities, and that's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And then they have a long history, which I won't get into. But at the time, and I'm talking about like now 2000 to 2005, 6, there was a massive increase in the amount of these mortgage-backed securities created by the Goldman Sachs, Bear Stearns, JP Morgan's, Bank of America's, Merrill Lynch's, and the hedge funds of the world.
Yep.
So that's why they're private label MBS, because they're separate from kind of what we call agency MBS, which is that issued by the big US agencies.